Okay, people are asking me about my filter system, and it's really simple. It's a two-stage filter, a pre-filter, which is this trash can right here, and a biofilter, which has been in this. This thing must be 20-something years old now. It's incredible how this thing's lasted. But it's a liner pond with stacked bricks, stacked landscape bricks, I think they're called. Anyway, the liner's been here. This is 25 years old now. I built this pond for my mother-in-law. Here is the siphon tube, the U tube. It's a one-piece tube. I glued it together. It goes from there across to there. I did that just so that I didn't have to cut a hole in the liner. My rule of thumb is I put the pump at the upper portion of this filter. That way I do not have to, the typical way this would be done probably would be someone just put the pump in the pond and pump it to the filters and back out. I don't do that because I want to keep the solids, the leaf litter, the fish waste, I want to keep it as solid as possible so that it settles easy. It doesn't get into the water column, doesn't get ground up and then feed algae. It just settles to the bottom of this chamber. The fish swimming around, koi especially are bottom feeders. They poke around, they dig through stuff, and they knock it loose. And everything except the sand or gravel, really, in the pond mostly. Every once in a while I'll find a corner with some leaf litter. I may grab a handful. But basically, it all gets eventually bumped around until it gets to the suction tube here and pumps into this filter. Then from there, I've got a filter cloth around the pump, kind of a filter cage. That's the simplest way right now. I've also done it where I had a layer of Metalla, which is just a coarse filter material, kind of at the halfway mark of this, and then put the pump on top of it. That worked well, but the Metalla started to disintegrate after 10 years. So anyway, so the pump is in here. It's about 1,000 gallons per minute or so. And the pond is about 1,500, I believe. Anyway, I pump it to this over here, to this area, where I have my biomedia, and this is a wet-dry filter, as in it is wet. It's wet, and it's always wet, but it never gets submerged. There you see the media it sprays into, and I have this this basically a radiator that just sprays the water, and it's getting a little plugged up now, but basically it doesn't matter as long as it's spraying in there, and the water's backing up a little bit. But basically I keep it to where the media is in an oxygen-rich environment, which it can't be when it's underwater, and it just flows into there and then pours back out here. And there's my waterfall, and that's really all there is to it. This system here rarely gets any clog. Gets a little bit of muck here and there. Usually it gets ground out or flushed out. If it flushes back out, that's fine. A little here and there. What happens is this trash can end up with a foot and a half of muck on the bottom, and I just drain it out the bottom into flower beds, or sometimes I'll bucket it up and take it to another area for potted plants or flower beds. And and the other big thing is this U-tube. This U-tube, it's got suction. If you lose suction, if I were to open this cap here, for instance, air would get in and the thing would collapse and water wouldn't flow. So I don't have to do it very often. In fact, I don't know if I've ever had to do it, but sometimes I remove this for maintenance. Also, the tube is basically a simple big U shape, but at the bottom of this, when I put the tube in, well, for starters, I take the tube, I lift it out, there's no water in it, I dunk it in the pond, it gets filled with water, and then I cap it with caps like this, not glued on or anything, just simple sticking it on. stick the caps on underwater, so there's it's filled with water, no air, no air pockets. And then quickly I just pick it up, stick it in here, and then I remove the caps. The water instantly equalizes. You can see here that the filter is constantly filled as the water is pumped out, because the siphon tube keeps the water levels equal. If I turn the pump off, you'll see there's probably a couple inches different, but that's because if I had 2 tubes or 3 tubes or a bigger tube, the water would, it's just a matter of the suction and the difference of it that keeps the water moving. That's the suction. And then at the bottom of this pipe, I have an elbow with a pipe that's capped that has a bunch of holes drilled in it, and that's just to make sure no koi, no smaller one gets sucked through the tube and into the filter, or a bigger one could actually get suctioned against the tube, and it could suck into it and hurt him. He could get stuck in the pipe, or he could get stuck against the side of it. The siphon would build up pressure, and it'd probably hurt the fish or kill the fish. This way I've got the pipe at the bottom with a bunch of holes in it, little holes, so that a baby fry might be able to get through, but everything else is not in risk of being suctioned up. Anyway, that's how this thing works, and it's been working for years, and it follows my rule of cheap, use gravity or suction to get to your first pre-filter. Let your pre-filter solids settle out. Pump the clean water off the top. I could have another layer of filter to follow that rule better, but basically keep pump the cleaner water off the top. Pump it into an oxygen-rich environment up here where it sprays onto a media, and keep the media wet but not submerged, and let it pour back in as a waterfall. So this is highly oxygenated. I mean, the fish never have a problem, because this oxygenates the water to a huge amount, and then of course another waterfall on the way out. And that's all there is to it. All right.